Yo, peace. This is where we at today. We at the pier. Hey, it's your man Solar Moray. You already know what time it is. This video is going to be about what's missing. There's something that's missing in life. Everybody's looking for something more. You can say that it's money. You can say maybe it's a lover, a partner, a relationship you want to be in. You could say status maybe is something that might be missing, and you want to get these things to fulfill yourself. And I want to tell you and I want to show you what's missing and why is it missing and how to get it. So like I said, my name is Solar Moray. My album's coming out June 18th. If this is past June 18th, the album's out. Go get it. It's called I'm Serious. Serious means lit, so that means I'm lit. It's a dope album. I just listened to it on my way here. And also, the Astral School of Everything is back open. So for those who want to learn more and dive deeper into what we're about to talk about, feel free to go click on the link in my bio. Anywhere that you're seeing this, it should be the first link, and then look for the Astral School of Everything. It should be right at the top. And yeah, we're going pretty deep, and this is something that you want to take and learn and master for yourself, what I'm about to give you. A lot of people, if you don't know, I'm someone who has lived a life kind of rebelling to the system for many years. And I ended up moving myself out into nature, living in nature for many years, traveling different countries, and living by faith, living by God. And I will tell you that it definitely has its ups and downs, but even the downs are ups. And it's crazy because I've always been taken care of, and I've been given this one gift, to see things for what they are and to see deeper into what some would call the surface. So one insight that I had a long time ago, many years, in the beginning of this journey, one of the very first videos that I ever did was about the narrow path. And, I'm not religious. I don't have a religion. I am a spiritual person that lives and walks the truth. And I know the truth. I don't need to conceptualize, or I don't need to convince people or convince myself in what is real, what is the truth. I just look at it for what it is and understand it for what it is. God's given us all that ability. Or the Most High, I should say. This is what is missing in your life. And I'm going to start with this story in this first video that I had made, because I've actually always been right. It's just the application of this is a little bit different. Trying to apply knowledge is wisdom, but doing so, we still make mistakes, and we do our best, and we are just refining ourselves. So what's missing? It's not the money, it's not the status. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not the power, it's not the glory. What's missing can be understood through this story. Okay, so have you ever heard of the narrow path? They say the broad path is what the masses take. The broad path will lead you to destruction, whereas the narrow path will lead you to all of the answers. The narrow path is harder to travel, but it's more rewarding. What is this narrow path? I want you to think of light. The way light works. Think of a flashlight. Think of a ray. Solar more ray. Think of a ray of light. A ray of light, I could shoot it out and it'll beam out and it'll spread out. It'll just spread out. It'll disperse. Spread out. And it'll get wider and wider as it spreads. Okay? And you can liken this to the broad path as it spreads out. Well, what's the narrow path? The narrow path is the reverse of going out and dispersing. It is coming together to the source of that light. If we're to use the sun as an example in this realm, you would say that the sun is beaming all this light here and it spreads out and covers everything. But if you trace all that light back to where it's coming from, it'll go to one source. What you have to understand is that the narrow path is narrow because it's not getting broad. It's going this way. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. It's becoming one. You're getting closer to oneness with the narrow path. You're going in yourself. You're going back to the source. Whereas the broad path is leaving the source. It's looking for things outside of the source. Maybe this could look like validation, trying to see what other people think of you, looking for answers in things, looking for answers in money, looking for answers in environments, looking for answers in anything else, where we know that the kingdom is within. Let thy thy single eye be full of light, and the whole body will be full of light. You'll realize that looking out into this expansion, you're never going to find the source. You're going to find things. You're going to find reflections. You're going to find all kind of different things that are going to do but one thing: redirect you back to that source. You see, when they say heaven is within, the kingdom is within, the source is you, is within you. This is very real. What's missing? And how do you get there? You can't keep looking for validation, answers, success, fulfillment outside of yourself, in relationships, in money, in items, in things. You're never going to find it. But if you can go within, you're going to find that you are connected to something called source. Source is the core of where everything comes from. So when you go to source, you will find that you have access to all truth. You have access to fulfillment. You have access to joy, to happiness, to peace at all times. But to do this is difficult because it asks you to stop looking outside and to start looking within. When you start doing this, you're going to realize, first off, that there's things that you need to work on. There are shadows in your own mind. There are obstacles on that way back to source that you need to remove and you need to get over to get back to your most true, authentic self. There is a version of you that is connected to the Most High. That version of you is connected to the source. A lot of people are not connected to that version of themselves or aware of that version of themselves. They think they have to work this job. They think they have to get this beautiful girl or get the guy of their dreams. They think that they need status, money, and power and recognition from people, but that will never fulfill you. What it's going to fulfill you is self-love, self-awareness, looking at yourself, thinking about all the obstacles that you have, all the programming that you have, and deciding to take control of that. This looks different for everyone. Everyone's road back to the source is going to be absolutely unique. There is not one way in which you're going to do this. The best way that I have seen to do this is to actually look into your chart, your natal chart. Whether you're using tropical astrology, Vedic astrology, whether you're using human design or gene keys, what you're doing is you're taking the time to study yourself and see yourself in multiple dimensions. See, these things show us about biology. They stem from the core principles of how the universe is created, the law. Cosmos, K-O-S-M-O-S, cosmos. Cosmos means law. The universe is living in alignment with law. Nature is living in alignment with law. When you study nature, you're going to see that you are governed by these same laws nature is governed by. And we can easily study an atom and see how it works. We can study a cell and see how it works. But you can also study yourself. And you're not just this animal, just this thing that can only be analyzed and understood through numbers and metrics. You are a multidimensional being. Your energies have multiple frequencies that rule different things in your life. For example, in astrology, we can look at Mercury and see how we think. In Jupiter, We can look at how we expand, how we teach, how we grow. We can look at Saturn. What is blocked from us, which ends up opening up to success? A door, a locked door that we have to find the key for. What is Mars but our willpower, and how our willpower works, our drive, what gets us going, and when we get going, how does that look? Our sun, the core vitality of who we are, what we identify as, our identities. The moon, your subconscious mind, your emotional body. These are all different facets of energies that create you, that can be seen through astrology, they can be seen through psychology, they can be seen through biology. That's what I teach in the Astral School of Everything. I teach people how to understand the cosmos, how to understand the universe objectively, and studying the universe by studying yourselves, and then learning how to dive deeper into yourself. So I teach people how to learn for themselves. I teach people how to find out more about themselves. I teach people how to relate and connect to nature, to source more, by being able to identify the objective truths that are all there. The truth is already there. You don't need to invent it. You don't need to convince somebody of it. You don't need to create it. The truth is already there. You have to be able to see it. It's the belief systems. It's the religions. It's the programs that are convincing you, that are making you think that, well, this is the way, well, that is the way, well, this is the way. No, the only way that there is back to source. This is truth. This is who you are. This is the core of who you are. All the answers are there in the most authentic you. Everything that's in the way of the authentic you is what you need to work on. Everything that's in the way of you expressing yourself, understanding yourself, being yourself is there. But if you don't know who you are, if you don't know where you're going, it's going to be very difficult to get there. I like to say, if you don't know where you are going nowhere. And when you know where you're going, you can move with direction. But this means that you have to live life a little bit more sacred than maybe you've been living it already. Once you know your purpose, like the North Node, which will show you how your soul is developing, which is a key thing to look at when you're trying to identify your purpose or what you should be doing. When you look at your 10th house, your career, when you look at your 4th house, your family, when you look at all of these different things and you understand them for what they are, not only are you going to resonate with it and be like, dang, that is how I am. That is how my life is and how I am uniquely outside of everybody else. That's right. You're going to have to actually learn how to live in alignment with the real you, not change who you are to fit society because you don't know who you are. Instead, know who you are. That's going to change society. That's going to change your life. That's going to change everything that's going on. I know who I am. I know what this is. So nobody can tell me otherwise. Nobody can tell me what's right for me, what's wrong for me, what the best is for me. Nobody, because it's already written. I'm already me. I just need to know who I am. And I need to accept who I am and be who I am and express who I am. And I am full with that. I am full. I am satisfied. I am okay with that. So I live a life in peace. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. It doesn't matter what anyone throws at me. It doesn't matter what's in the broad path, what's out there. I'm connected to the source. I walk the narrow path. I'm walking with source. I'm authentic to myself. So what's for me is for me. I know you've heard that plenty of times. What's for you is for you. But how can you have what's for you if you don't even know who you are and you're not even being who you are? So that's what I teach in the Astral School of Everything as well. So when you guys sign up for that, you know, shout out to y'all who choose to take control of your life. What you're going to learn is number one, how the universe works. Cosmos works by law, number one. Number two, you're going to study this and understand this through mastering your own selves, looking at your own charts, understanding your own energies. The work that needs to be done, that I'm doing to develop myself and to become better and become more authentic, is not the same work that you're going to do. You're going to look into your chart. And for example, I have a North Node in Scorpio. So that means I'm meant to dive deeper into these things. So what I do and what I teach is not for everybody. Say you have the opposite of that, a North Node in Taurus. You may be learning how to accept your value, how to see your value in a deeper level, and that you deserve the best of foods, the best of fabrics, the best of the physical realm. Money, abundance. I'm a North Node in Scorpio. I'm used to all of that already. I already have the best of everything. I already get the best of everything. People just let me into their mansions. I'm more so here to focus on a kingdom that you cannot touch, that you cannot see. Feelings and sensations that are not just objects. I'm here to tap it deeper into the soul. I'm here to go beneath the surface. So those are two polar opposites, but they're one and the same. So my path may not be your path. I'm not meant to focus on money. I'm not meant to focus on materials. I'm already good with those things. I'm meant to focus on something deeper. You could be someone who's too deep. Say you had the opposite, the North Node in Taurus. You could be too deep into the esoteric, into the occult, into the arcane, to where you're not being practical. You're too sacrificial. You're giving too much away. Oh, I don't need it. It's okay. I'm fine. No, there's a point where some people need to get a little bit more practical, and there's some point where people who are too practical need to get a little more spiritual. Here's another example. I also have the 5th house, which is Leo. Leo, the 5th house North Node, is someone who expresses themselves, self-expression, the inner child, the true authentic self, shining, the star on the stage, where the spotlight's on him. That's me. I'm learning to step into that and be in that and create more and do more. So I have an album. I make music. You can go look on my YouTube and find all my music. You can go look on all platforms. Just type in Solar Amore, and you can find all of the things that I create. I'm shining also by sharing this knowledge that's beneath the surface, right? Whereas the opposite of that would be the 11th house of Aquarius. Now, let me tell you, this is my comfort zone. It's not something I'm going towards, it's something I'm used to. Aquarius plays the background. They are no longer the star on the stage. They do everything that makes the star shine. They might be the stage tech. They might be the people who's the one controlling the spotlight, shining the spotlight. They're support. They're team players. They don't need to tell everyone who they are. They might join a group and help amplify that group and that collective. And that I've done that. Anyone who knows me, I've already done that. I've already joined a group, and I cut off who I was. I discarded my name. I discarded everything about myself, and just to amplify a group that stood for something that I also believed in. Until eventually I could no longer express myself. I was no longer me. But Aquarius North Node person, they could be so used to shining. They could be so used to being on a stage. Now they're meant to help other people shine by supporting them. Now they're meant to join community, to join these groups with their authentic self, bringing that to the table. So your path is going to be very unique. Your path is not going to look like anyone else's. It's for you. Who's seen The Wizard of Oz? It's like the Golden Brick Road. You have a unique path back to source. To get back to this source, to go within, to become authentic, to become the real you. You're going to have to take this Golden Brick Road. This Golden Brick Road is your astrology. When you learn about all these different aspects of yourself and you heal every part of you, you heal yourself in all dimensions. What's going to happen is you're going to start to become more whole. You're going to start to become more authentic. When you heal your emotional body, when you heal your physical body, when you heal your mental body, and you get everything in alignment, you're going to enter what they call the Christ conscious, Nirvana, Samsara, Kingdom of Heaven. So your path is not going to look like anyone else's. But if you don't know where you're going nowhere. So everyone, regardless of who you are, the truth is there for us all. The truth is around us all. And we all have the ability to see that truth and to tap into that truth and become aware of that truth and move based off of the truth. Not programming, not belief, not societal standards. It doesn't matter if they laugh at you. It doesn't matter what they think about you. What matters is what you think about yourself. It doesn't matter what they do or what they did to you. What matters is what you're doing. And that's the only thing for you to be focused on. Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is pulling you away from who you are, is a part of the dispersion, the broad path. Don't worry about the world. Don't worry about the broad path. Fix this world. Heal yourself in all dimensions, and all the answers will come to you. Everything will reveal itself. It's in every anime, it's in every cartoon, it's in every religious book. It's all there. It's everywhere. It's to seek God within yourself. Source. Connect to source within yourself. We don't need to debate about religions. We don't need to debate about, how you should live your life. What we do know is that we're all connected to source. And when we express source through our authentic self, it will look unique. When you are being authentic, you will not be anybody else. You will not look like anyone else. It will not come through you like anyone else. So being authentic literally means being different, completely different than anyone else. That's what being authentic is going to look like. It's not going to look like doing what they want you to do. It's not going to look like that. Well, there will be people for you when you step into your authentic self. There will be a job for you. There will be a work for you. There is a way that you express energy through that. I'm not telling you to not do anything. I'm telling you to gain a foundation of truth before you do things. And that's what we teach. We teach the foundation of truth. You want to improve your lifestyle? You want to know what you need to do better to get where you want to be? There is a way to do it, but you're not going to find it by living somebody else's life. You're not going to find it by doing what they want you to do. You're not going to find it by trying to make the people in your life happy. You're only going to be able to find that when you figure out who you are and you accept who you are authentically. And there are objective ways to do this. You don't just have to speculate. You don't need to just sit in a room sitting there just meditating. There's actually evidence all around you. If you can see God in all things, if you can see the source in all things, starting with yourself, you'll look at everything completely different. Somebody else's emotional trauma, somebody else's beliefs. You're not going to hate them. You're going to understand them. You're going to understand why it is the way it is. I used to hate the world. I used to be very angry with the world. I used to be very angry with what people have done. But then I realized that it's all for a reason. It's all for a purpose. It's a part of the plan. And all of it helped me wake up to who I am. And to figure out who I am showed me that this is where I need to be in time and space. It's who I am. That's why I'm here. I'm not here by happenstance. I'm divinely placed here in this space and time to do what I'm doing, to know what I'm knowing, to share what I'm sharing, to help who I'm helping. Your families, your communities, your money, your job, everything's going to come to you. But you have to come to yourself first. Don't expect them to find you if you haven't even found yourself. Right? So in the Astral School of Everything, we have an introductory astrology class course in there for you to go ahead and look at. There's a community that you can join as well. And then if you go deeper, you can connect with me directly and I'll help you do your chart yourself. And me and you one-on-one, we'll have that time. And we'll be able to have a talk that we couldn't have with anyone else. That wouldn't be the same as anyone else because it's about the unique you, the most authentic you. And what we're going to be doing over time is, and what I'm already doing is, we're going to be constantly adding courses. We're going to be constantly adding classes. You don't want to be behind. You want to be caught up. And we're going to constantly be adding classes every week or so, if not more, of more advanced understandings of astrology, and that's in the astrology classes, in the astrology tier. But if you go deeper into the Astral School of Everything, we'll be talking about the laws, cosmic laws, quantum physics, biology, astrology, psychology, lifestyle changes, things that you can actually do. Everything is very practical and applicable to actually be doing things, to actually see change and improve in your life. And I just finished listening to my album, Beautiful. I just finished listening to people's messages that they've sent me, very beautiful things, and it just spurs me and lets me know that we're changing lives by living in our authentic selves and showing other people that it's okay to do just that. It's funny. They're fishing, right? Then it just made me think, you casted out the fishing thing, and it made me think of that Bible verse. Instead of teaching you how to fish for fish, I'm going to teach you how to fish for men. The fisher of men is just somebody who's out there putting the truth out, helping people come back to source. I want to help people go back to source, come back to the highest self, connected to the Most High. That is very noble. That is very beautiful. So with all that being said, the House of School of Everything goes deeper into so many more things. If you go into another tier of that, I do a lot of live Q&As. I'm no longer doing lives, just out there. I'm going to be doing them in the school. And I'm going to be focusing on the school, the House of School of Everything. It deserves my attention more than anything else. It's the most important thing to me. So with all that being said, I love you guys. Love yourselves. Hey, hold it down, but keep it up. Like, share, subscribe. Send this to somebody if you feel like, it can help them. Comment in here if you have any questions. Go ahead and click on the link in the descriptions. Go ahead and go to my page and find all the music, listen to the music and see what we're about. I put the same message into all of my music as well. If Jesus made music, if Yeshua made music, that's what my music is. My music would sound like if Jesus was rapping, if Jesus was what he would say in a song. Anyway, I love you guys. Peace to the queens, kings, emperors, and empresses, gods and goddesses. All right.